Hello, my name is Amoni Brown, and this is how you do a couple of tasks in TABLEAU. Line graphs, mapping, pie, and bar. I use privacy rights. I ended up just doing the whole 2018 because the one I originally wanted to do hardly gave me any data, and it was a bunch of words anyway. So I'm downloading the breaches that occurred in 2018. I'm uploading that into TABLEAU. It's an Excel file, so I'm connecting it with an Excel file. It was on my desktop, pretty straightforward. Now, TABLEAU is pretty helpful to new users. It says go to worksheet, and that's what we're about to do. We're gonna go to sheet 1 for the worksheet. Here are the tasks. We're going to find out how breaches occurred, the locations, the types, and the organizations that it occurred to the most. Again, we're going to use a line graph, mapping a pie chart, and instead of another pie chart, we used a bar graph, and we compared two graphs. So for sheet 1, here we are looking at the things that you can do in TABLEAU. This is the taskbar. You can hide the toolbar as well. And I like that. Here's all the information. They separate the quantities and the words. They even show you which ones to choose for whichever you want to show. So now we're completing task 1. How many breaches occurred throughout 2018? And then we're looking whether it was better or worse, or getting better or worse. So first, for the line graph, we're gonna need to know the type of breach and also the quantity and the date. We're color coordinating the type of breach so we can decipher which is which. We're putting the number of records for the type of breaches, and now we're going to put in the date in the columns. At first it says year, obviously it's all 2018. Then a quarter, they did never separate it that way. Then the month, it was only been 3 months, so now we got to spread it out even wider by the day. Not to get confused with just the date, it has to be the full day. So this was something new that I found out about. And you can see that it's getting less, is getting less and less, and now it's only a hack. And maybe that's because around February, they're trying to get into people's taxes. I have no idea, but yeah. So now we're gonna just name the sheet, and that naming the sheet also helps you keep track of what you're doing. And it's best to name it once you're done or before you start. See? Okay, now to the second task. The location of the most occurrences. Sometimes it's already on automatic, and you can see the location was not there. It read it as a noun. I had to add it in that it was for states, so that I could double click and it'll create the latitude and longitude for those states. I'm also connected to Wi-Fi so that the map can show up. When you're not, it doesn't show up. but the points will be there for latitude and longitude. So now I color coordinated the breeches again. Once you color coordinate once, it stays that way. And I'm showing that the hacks were found mostly on the East Coast. That was an eye opener for me. Maybe it's easy for people to hack, or people just do that in our areas of the globe. Remember to name your sheets. It's odd, it didn't update. Maybe I didn't press enter. Okay, anyway, we're gonna go to the second task. I mean, the third task. The types most frequently occurred. Those, so the type of breaches that most frequently occurred. For here, we're gonna use a pie chart. Under the marks, it didn't automatically say pie. I had to put it in. It just said automatic, and it would not give me a pie. So I had to actually go to it and press pie. Again, type of breeches, color coordinated. Now we're going to put in the number of breeches. Make it full width, entire width, so everyone can see. And also, when you're looking at pie charts, you kind of want to see it labeled instead of having to go over it, especially when you're looking at it on paper or on screen and you're not in Tableau. So we're just going to put another sum in there and then add the numbers. Okay, and on the website where I got the information, they also had this same chart, but they did it in percentage. Not sure how. Now we have to, of course, name our sheet. Now we're going to do the last task, which is the organizations that it occurred to the most. And the types of breach, again, color coordinated. And here we're going to do a bar graph. We're going to do like a stacked bar graph. We're going to put in the number, so the number of breaches. Again, we saw that it was 20 million breaches that occurred, 20 million records that occurred, which we will get to later. But here is just the breaches and the types of organizations. I just went back to that so you can just see which organization this was. And medical seemed to have the highest number of types of breaches. So they had a variety. And if you was to change the sum, like to change the measurement, we'll get something else. So out of the 20 million records that was hacked into, so let's say like I have a record and you have a different record, so 20 million records that was hacked into, it was another type of organization. Yet they had a smaller number of types of breaches. So it does depend on what you want to get. And of course, I add the labels. And it does depend on what you want to get when trying to showcase your data. And I just made it in an entire view so you guys can see. So now we're going to do the dashboard. And we're pretty much double clicking. You can also drag. And it has the icons on the side. Out of all the things we did today, I can't believe that these organizations haven't updated their security measures.